Hello, I Dr. Pankaj Kumar Goswami welcome you all again in the machine learning using Python tutorial series. I hope so till now you all are really able to gain lot of things from this tutorial series. Number of the libraries you have started working upon that, now you are able to understand the strength of a Python. So here in this video we are just moving towards the machine learning and how this Python is going to help us to develop our machine learning algorithms. This is we are going to move in the second section. So now actually today we have a target to study about the regression analysis. This regression analysis is the very first step in the direction towards the machine learning and the deep learning. So first of all, we understand what exactly the regression analysis, then we move on. So before that, those are watching this video first time. So while those are watching this video first time, I must recall them that we are working on a Google Colab platform. This Google Colab platform is an open source virtual laboratory. So it is available on internet resources. So that is absolutely no need to require to pre-installation of any software, but those are working with the pre-installed software like the Jupyter, Anaconda packages or the Spider or itself the Python, they can work upon, not a big deal. But those are working not and they don't want to pre-install it and having some issues, then they can easily work on directly on internet. So just type in Google Colab, so you find out this one. And if you are feeling difficulty, you may watch my previous video, first video. In that you will find out all the process how you can go for. So let's begin. So as we have a target, so we are just creating regression analysis first. So I have my regression, so I'm just naming it first. Then the second target is what? To connect this one, so that's important. So let's first understand what exactly the regression analysis. So regression analysis, as I have already told you, it's a very first step towards the direction of the machine learning. So this regression analysis helps you to decide relationship between the different kind of aspects and variables. So for example, suppose that an employee is here in a company and that employee is having a number of factors depending upon how the salary will be decided, like depending upon such their experience, level of education, role, exactly in which city they are working, and so many factors are there. So if the salary is depending upon number of independent variables, so how the relationship can be created between them? So this is a regression problem where the data related to each employee represent one observation. The presumption is that the experience, education, role, city are the independent variables, which features while the salary depends on them. Similarly, you can try to establish a mathematical dependence of the prices of house on their areas, number of bedrooms, distance to the city center. So it means so many live examples are there, not only related with the employee salary, not only related with the house prices, not only related with the contents within a particular kind of a material of a liquor, not only related with the person who is just finding out the sale within a restaurant, finding out that the behalf of genders kind of peoples are coming, whether they are coming here to get the alcohol or not. So many aspects are there, and among them this relationship is very much important. So let's try how we can go for this. So let's keep this moving and working with the Google Colab. So let's begin with this. So here I'm just taking a very simple example somewhat related with the medical science database. Number of database can be created, but one has to take one simple example. So here I'm just taking one example to understand about the regression analysis. So I have a target to go for this regression analysis. So I have just taken a simple example of some gender based issues related with the head sizes and the brain weight. If suppose a doctor and a medical science is having some sort of data field in which they are just taking care as per the age, they are taking the head sizes and the brain sizes. Let's call up the data and so that it will be more clear to you all. So first of all, first tool, those are watching this first time, I am calling my data which is stored somewhere, which has a command you can go easily from google.colab import files. Simple, you can easily import your files here. So now if there is a time to upload your files, so go for the files dot upload. Very simple command is here. So here you are just giving an option files dot upload. You can give the path to it, but I'm just giving a simple choice and executing this one. So you see here it is going to have option to me to choose my file to be uploaded. Here I'm just going to upload my data. So I just called up my data. So well, my data is available over here. Now I'm going to call up the libraries to read all this data, how we can go for. So important. So first of all, how to import the libraries. I'm importing my libraries. Import. So I'm importing my libraries. We know that we have few common importing libraries. I'm just taking it directly here. First of all, I'm importing NumPy as NP. Then I'm importing second file, pandas. So fine, pandas as PD. Third, I'm just calling from matplotlib. I'm calling matplotlib, importing pyplot as PLT. So well, this is I have just taken here, and fine. So going for the inline plotting, so I'm just going matplotlib inline. So I just called up all these one. So you may check whether you have just given all right script or not. It's not showing an error, it means it is the right one. Now it's time to read the data set, what exactly I have just taken up here. So this data set can easily be read with the help of simple giving a values data set. I'm just giving the name to it, and the data set to be read with the help of pd dot read underscore, because it is a CSV file, that's why I'm just writing this one, and giving exactly the name. What is the name of this data set? So this data set has a name of data set dot CSV. So now it is going to read this one, and finally you want to print what kind of a data is there. So you have an option to go for the data set show shape dot, you simply type here shape, so it will gone up here. You can easily find the data set dot head. Whatever the headers will be there, that will be presented here. That is what exactly. So here you have this reading of this data is completed. Let's run it out and check. Well done. So now basically we have a data. So that is data I have just taken. You may take this data somewhat related with the example of the medical sciences. So here we have this gender, age is here 5, 10, 15, 25. We have data 5, 4. It means 5 rows are here and the 4 columns. Aspects, the relationship which are the variables are the head size. Head size is varying and the brain weight is varying. So now we are going to find out the relationship between two and trying to create the regression so that our machine can understand where we have a feasible approaches. For that I'm just going to create this one. So creating this new code line, and under this code line I'm just defining this variable. The first variable I'm just taking x, deciding on the value of the data set because it is a data set, and in the data set I'm just going to read the first one. If you go here, you will find this. So this is Control C. I'm going to work here and this one. So now this is going to read the x variable is going to read the values of first column. Similarly, I'm repeating this one and keeping a little changes. Now the y, I'm just going to read the data set, not the head size, but here to brain weight in grams. So you have to take care of, you have to take complete header here, otherwise it is not going to read this. changing this and the values. So now we have x data set dot values. You want to check, you can easily get the values easily. Print x, I'm sorry, you have to go for the complete x. Print y, sorry, you have to go for this one. So you can find out the relationship between these two, whether you are just getting this or not. So ultimately the data has been read out. So for the x and for the y, you have a complete data set has been read out already. Seeing that, now we are going to work with some mathematics. So how the analysis to be taken place? First of all, as we are looking to regression has some sort of the formula. So first of all, what we require, we need to have a mean of all these. We are going to work with the mean of this one. So how we can go for? So don't worry about that. Let's say x mean giving this value equals to, so your numpy is here, it is going to work with you. It's very simple, x. So now it is completed. Simply you're looking to find out the y mean. So again your numpy is here, it is going to work with you, mean y. So now the means are ready. If you want to get the value of this mean, you can easily again go for the printing of this one, x mean and y mean, that will be shown up here. So you can easily go for this, like I'll just show you. Copying this for the convenience, printing this one, instead of writing this one, I'm just simply typing here x mean and y mean, x mean and y mean. So now that's it. So fine. So basically we have x mean as 4919.2 and 1824. So your numpy has worked a good one. It has already worked for you. So now the target is here to create regression analysis. Regression analysis requires some values, again the numerator for the data set. We have a complete regression analysis formula. Those are working new with these regression formulas. So they can easily search on a Google to find out the regression formulas. It will be helpful. So first we require the mean. We have already created that. Now next we are looking for to find out more variables. So let's we initiate num. So basically I'm just initiating this num as 0 and then I'm denom equals to 0. So I have initiated basically the two variables. One is the numerator and another is the denominator, and I'm starting one loop I in range. What is basically the range I'm just taking up this range of n. So I have to define this n, what exactly this n is here. So let's define up early. This n is nothing but length of x. So this n has been defined, length of x. So whatever the length of the x will be there, it will be working itself on this. So the loop has been started for this. Then after, as I have just taken the numerator, and now this is the continuous addition in the numerator equals to, starting with the values, we have x, and this will be working, keep moving with respect to I. So every time the I will change, the x will shift to its next value, minus we have x mean, and that has to be multiplied with, as per the relationship of the regression analysis here, and then we are going for this y will be moving again with the same one, I, and substituting this y mean. So that's it. The first numerator we have just created, numerator that is working with the x, I mean minus y mean. I'll just make you able to understand what exactly we are working here. Next we have a denominator that we have already defined. So this denominator is now going to work, denominator plus, every time it is being added it shows that, equals to same x I and minus of x mean. so it has been shifted somewhere else, minus of x mean. So it's working like this. So this is denominator and having a square of this. So going for this square, keeping this one. So this is basically the numerator and denominator. This is somewhat related with the relationship of the regression analysis. Regression analysis helps you to find out xi minus x mean, yi minus y mean in multiplication of these two and divided by the square of this one. So now we have the numerator as well the denominator. That will be keep on working because of the loop, because we have a list, number of lists is there. Now defining again, b1 is another variable which will be working on num divided by denominator. So that will be worked on, and then after b naught, or every time we are just comparing this one. So taking this b naught, so this b naught is going to work with this y mean minus, and the b1, that variable we have just taken, multiplied with x mean. This is complete relationship to be created with the b1 and b0. And then finally we are going to print this one, print b1 comma b0. So these two will be printed as. So let's check it out whether this particular function is working or not, what exactly that we are getting in terms of a loop of it. So let's check this one. So while we are just having a different values related with this b1 b0 for every respective values of this one. So as the list will be go on 1 2 3 4 5, for the 5 different values we are having a different b1 and b0 values as per the requirement of the regression analysis. Now it's time to really check graphically what exactly we have done. So this is the most important part. So first of all, let's create an axis. So first we are just creating this x max. So we have this x max, creating this np dot max of x. This is going to create the maximum value, and this is only we are changing the scale of this one. So plus 100. Then we are going for x min, and this x min is going to work with the same np. So your numpy is helping you minimum of x and changing this scale by minus 100. You can change or not, that depends upon you. So let's begin with creating this x equals to np dot lin space and what we have created x min comma x max and 1000. So creating a simple linear spacing between x min and x max for the 1000 values. Now starting with the plot dot plot x and y, we are going to plot in this one and checking what exactly it happens here, and just go only for plot dot show. I'm simply not giving any reason, not giving anything, that will be added later on. So first of all we'll see what exactly we cut by this. Before going to work this one, I'm sorry, I just have to create this y also. So this y is to be taken as in terms of, this is all related with your mathematical analysis. I can show you if you require this one how these formulas are coming up. This is only the formula. Those are working in those area, they must know how they can work like. There's an x. So that has been created. Now let's check how it comes like. That's so wonderful. So this is what the linear relationship between these two. So here we have a regression analysis showing this one. Now we have a target to go for everything to present that other things are available here or not. So for that, what we can add here, plot dot plot, go for plotting of this x, the complete capital X that you have just taken previously, capital X and capital Y, and let's see what happens. So if suppose this is the again analysis, but this analysis doesn't seem so good, so just show you, this is showing simply this is the regression analysis, the mean analysis you have created, and here the actual values varies, but you want to show exactly the way in which way you are working upon. You may go for better analysis option, go for scatter. So I'm going for the scatter plot and checking all this one. So you see here we have these variations, we have all these variations, and among these variations we have a regression line. This line shows best fitting to you. Later on what we can else add here, just create some more things. I'm just going to add it. It means the target was somewhat related with, like we were having some, suppose head size, we have just taken x variable. If you remember about that, we have just taken this x variable as a head size and the y variable is taken as a brain weight. So these two are going to get the relationship. What is the relationship between the head size and the brain weight? And this has some relationship. Now somebody want to create a analysis, a relationship, exact relationship on the basis of that. So those are values not available here. Someone can predict what should be the approximate brain weight. So if suppose these kind of dots are being presented, 1 2 3 4 5 dots are presented, on the basis of no one can get the analysis. So the regression is the best fit which shows you the maximum and the minimum deviation all possible on this one, so that a straight line can be created, and if any point has been taken on this one which is not already given here, that point have a best fitted analysis between them. So it will give the closest relationship of the actual possibility on the basis of all these data sets. So that can be represented a bit nicely. If suppose you are working on that, you can change the color. So you're going to work this one, this plot is here, you can just change as per your choice. I'm just going to R dash dash, that gone out to work. You see here that has been created into this one. Similarly, you want to change your XY plotter chart, you may have something like you can create your data. Similarly, I am working here to give the values. Label, I can give the label to it. What I label is the linear regression. I'm just giving this value to linear regression to here. Similarly, you wanted to give some data. So you can give another level to it, and you may write simply here available data. So here we have a regression analysis, here we have an available data. And simply by writing only the thing plot dot show legend, you can easily go for plot shot legend. Now you already given this legend. Now let's see how does it work. See, that's a great one. So this XY, we are just having this level data. So this is to be put up here. Let's check this one. So before showing your plot, you have to write this legend. If you are writing it, definitely plot has been shown first, and then you are looking for the legend. That's was an issue. So if you see here that dot 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 shows the linear regression as well as the available data. You may change this linear regression color as per your choice. You may go for this green and so on. These are the small attributes we have already discussed about in the matplotlib, something like that. So the target exactly works up here. The target is exactly work here is what somewhat related with what. So this is exactly works with. So finally we have just gotten an idea. So regression analysis is the prediction of the value. If somewhat value related with the 5500, so what should be its size? You can just have like, look, I'm just giving a small section to you, so you would be really able to understand what exactly the x-axis and the y-axis. So before listen, you can get the level of this one also. So just taking for your convenience this. So you see here, so if suppose any 5500 is definitely has size, so what are the best possibility to have the brain weight? This is what analysis, and this is the best fit line, nearest and closest approach among them, so that those predicted values are not available, those data sets are not available, one can have a closest approach. So many times it seems so perfect, so good, so nice. So those people are working on the design of the machine learning and having some you can say like some tolerance limits are there, so that kind of a fit is very working. So many areas, like right now the COVID is there, so many people are working on these regression analysis, and this regression analysis helping them to find out predicting the values of all those. So this is the very first step to learn about the machine learning, and here on the basis of that we are able to learn how we can predict a brain weight on the basis of head size. Similarly, that can be done on the basis of the gender too, if the data set is there, and other relationships too. So I hope so you all might be able to understand the first rule of the machine learning. Now you are able to create the prediction of your own data set. If suppose I have 10-15 values for this particular set, then what will be the values for another one? So this is a wonderful tool, and all these linear regression relationships are available on Google, on the different books and everywhere. Those are working with the mathematics, so these are all available. So now we have a target to understand about basically how this can be done with the help of a Python so easily, which is so tough while we are doing on pen on paper. So till then, thank you very much. Bye bye. Hope so you must be liking this video. In the next video we'll be having more fascinating working with the machine learning. Thank you very much.